that was an earthquake, and my body was crushed,
Wow.
and I saw the soul leaving. So that's the whole.
Uh-huh.
That became a chapter when I was able to tune in to that lifetime and channel
And channel it.
that young woman, yes, who
Yeah.
died.
Yeah.
Almost everybody died in that earthquake.
Welcome to Creativity with Purpose, where we explore the stories, struggles, and sparks that shape our creative lives. I'm your host, Ann Maracek, author, healer, and believer in the power of meaningful expression. Together, we'll dive deep into what it means to create with heart, live with intention, and heal through the beauty of storytelling.
I'm Ann Maracek, and this is Creativity with Purpose. Today we're talking with Alla. She was born and raised in the former Soviet Union and immigrated to the United States from Kiev, Ukraine. She currently resides in Los Angeles, California with her family. Alla is a retired children's social worker who has worked with children for almost 20 years. While in her retirement, she has authored 3 books. Turning the Pages, How Exploring My Past Lives Led Me on the Journey of Healing Memories. The second was entitled Turning New Pages, How Exploring My Treasured Friendships and Our Past Lives Connections Led Me on the Wild Rides Through the Mysteries of Life. And she has co-authored a book of short stories entitled Thursdays at 2. She holds 2 master's degrees, one in marriage and family therapy and in spiritual psychology, with an emphasis on consciousness, health, and healing from the University of Santa Monica. And she's a licensed marriage and family therapist. Alla graduated from the Hypnosis Motivation Institute and is a certified hypnotherapist. She is a graduate of the Clearsight Institute as a clairvoyant and is a soul coaching oracle and tarot card reader. Alla specializes in past life readings using oracle cards. You have been a busy girl, my friend.
Yes, I have. Thank you so much. And I'm so glad to be visiting with you on your podcast.
Absolutely. I'm thrilled to have you here. And I will say, Alla did a past life tarot card reading for me not too terribly long ago, and it was absolutely spot on, amazing. I related to it completely. Almost spooky how feeling it was.
Yes. And it happens every time. And I'm surprised every time I do this, I'm surprised myself how accurate it is.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. And how did you even find this path? What led you to doing past life regressions?
Well, not to so much regressions. The reading of the cards came out of my love for cards. I've been reading cards before. I'm doing tarot cards and oracle cards. But with these books that I wrote, it was the first book, I thought, I need to know if there are any past life cards that exist. And once I found that deck with past lives, I started reading. It's a huge compliment to reading, to my own growth.
Yeah, amazing. Absolutely amazing. So you grew up in the Soviet Union.
Mm-hmm.
How did that stifle or enhance, how did that affect your whole clairvoyant voyage? It seems to me like it would have been very oppressive for the kind of spiritual, awake person that you are.
Well, when I was in the Soviet Union, I knew about intuition, but very little. It was not something that I was developing or pursuing. It's not until I came to the United States as an adult, I started really developing and working on it.
I see. You know, so oftentimes children display clairvoyance probably even stronger because they are uninhibited when they're little. I know when I was a child, I used to be very, very psychic, very clairvoyant, and my parents did everything they could to shut that down in me. Did you experience any of that?
There was not much of that. I know I was also always fascinated by some kind of mysterious literature. I loved fairy tales. I think that was one of my introductions to clairvoyance. But to tell you the truth, I do not remember any of this. Although one time I did have an experience when I was about 9 or 10, when I put it in my book, when for some reason I was always tired and came home from school and felt tired. And the thought crossed my mind. I wonder who I was when in my past life when I'm so tired in this lifetime.
Ah,
Where did this question come from?
right, right. Interesting. Very interesting. Did you ever have a time in your life when you didn't remember who you were supposed to be this time?
No, I don't recall any of this. I think just life, I just followed the intuition. I followed the guidance, and I need to tell you the story. That story comes up, and I need to tell you this.
Yes, please.
When I was a child, I loved plants, period. But when I was a child, I fascinated with cactuses, and I had the whole windowsill of little cacti. And during the winter nights, I would sit by my display of cacti and said, I would love to live in a place where it's so warm that these cacti are growing on the streets.
Oh.
And I had this dream. Then I forgot about this dream. Then I grew up, and then the marriage and everything. When we came to the United States, we moved, our house was in Santa Monica, California.
Oh, beautiful.
And in December I was walking my daughter to school. I didn't have a car then. And I'm walking by the plants, flowers, beautiful flowers, December. I'm walking in short sleeves. And I'm thinking, oh my God, December, if I would be in Kiev right now, I would be wearing a fur coat, the hat, the boots and everything. Yes.
Right. A big firm up, right?
And here I am walking in t-shirt. And then I look at the flowers and I see a cactus and it's blooming.
Uh-huh.
And that was a light bulb moment for me. I still have a goosebumps when I talk about it. And say, my God, I am in a place where cactus are growing on the street.
Isn't that something? So a dream, a life's mission come true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
Full
it's
circle.
Beautiful. Right. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
The reason I asked about, did you ever not remember who you are in this incarnation? That actually happened to me one time as a child.
Tell me.
I was standing in the front hallway looking out the window, my parents' home, and I suddenly didn't remember who I was. I didn't recognize the place. And I'm a child. I'm in a child's body. I'm looking at myself. I'm a child. And my adult voice is talking. And I'm saying, what am I going to do if someone walks in the room? I can't remember who I'm supposed to be this time. I don't know who I am. Isn't that wild? And I actually walked through the rooms of the house, not recognizing anything, trying to look for clues to figure out who I am this time.
Oh my God. It's like was a temporary amnesia in a
I
way.
forgot. Yeah, I forgot. It was my higher self in an adult voice talking to in my mind, and yet I couldn't remember who I was supposed to be.
So what happened next?
My mother was apparently gone somewhere. She came home, unlocked the door, and came in through the front door and said, Ann, what are you staring at? And it snapped me. I heard the name.
And then you came back.
Yeah, and because I heard the name, and then it brought me back. But from that moment on, I had a very deep understanding that where we are in this lifetime isn't necessarily our soul or who we are, right? And I find it absolutely fascinating. As you know, I've read cover to cover, turning the pages. Absolutely loved it.
Okay.
And I find it fascinating that you explore past lives where you're a man, in some you're a woman. And I can now see how your soul would want to have those mixed experiences.
Well, that is my belief that the soul doesn't really care. It needs learning, and whatever body suits that particular lesson or lessons that the soul needs to learn. That's how it's gonna go.
Yeah. So you think it's driven, the body that you incarnate in, you think is driven by the lesson the soul needs to learn?
Yeah. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Do you think you choose, or do you think it's chosen for you?
From my understanding, we choose the parents, the grandparents, the culture, the type of the body. Yeah, I mean, I think we generally choose something, but all those other experiences that maybe day-to-day experiences that are our choices. I mean, we also have something to do with not just our soul. We also have to do something like choosing the interview with you.
Right. Right, exactly. So we still have the autonomy of free choice.
Of course.
Even
That's
though
the free choice.
Yeah. Even though we've chosen to reincarnate in a certain time, place, and so forth.
Yeah. It's like we need to drive from point A to point B, but what we do in between driving, we can stop in this place or in this gas station or somewhere else, so we can make a detour, but we still need to get to point B at a certain time. But what are we doing? That's my understanding. What we do in between is up to us.
Exactly. Do you have any past life experiences that seem to have carried forward into this life, like relationships or places that you revisit?
Yes, I have both, and the places was I described in the book the Ellis Island. When I visited Ellis Island, I had remembering. I did not know what it was, but I started. It was a deja vu, actually, moment when I started crying because I walked in this long corridor that immigrants were walking in. And I started crying, and I could not figure out why. It was very strange when I teared up. And then I said, "Why am I crying?" And that voice said, "You've been here before."
Yeah. So you were pulling from the place and associated past emotion.
Yeah, our body has a cell memory, so it's not me consciously remembering I was here before. It's my body. The body reminded me, the cell memory, that we traveled from one lifetime to another, reminded me that I was there before.
Yeah. When I first, at least in this carnation, went to Egypt, I was so excited to see the pyramids, and I took the long taxi ride from Cairo out to Giza and got out of the car and looked up, and I heard the voice in my head go, "Well, they haven't changed any." It's like, do you mind? Let me enjoy it.
Oh, that is hysterical.
God, let me have this moment. Just amazing. And then an opposite feeling, rather than disappointment and, oh, nothing's changed, right? It's cynical. But when I first visited Morocco, always been drawn there. Love the
Yeah.
culture, love the food, love the music, it just feels like home. I walked into a riad, which is a family home with a central courtyard with trees and flowers and so forth. And the bedrooms are around the upper floor on the balcony.
Mm-hmm.
And I walked into this particular riad and I burst into tears, similar to what you were describing. And my heart just yelled, I'm home.
Yeah.
And I immediately got a flash of a wall that had stones and water flowing down it with plants and bedrooms around three sides.
Oh.
And this was, at this time, this was the hotel where our tour was going to be staying the night. And I asked the concierge, I said, where is the wall that has the water flowing down it? And he said, Madam, are you a returning guest? I'm like, no, but I know it's here somewhere. Where's the wall? And he got this look like, what is going on here? And he said, 2 rooms over. And what had happened when they converted this particular property into a hotel, they had opened the wall between 3 homes.
Mm-hmm.
It had been 3 separate homes, and they had joined them by taking the walls out. And the second building over, sure enough, it was a 3-sided riad with this wall of stone and water coming down and plants growing out of the water.
It's wild.
And I saw it in my mind, and I had to run to it. I had to find it.
That's
we
wild.
do, if we're open to it, I think we can bring forward some of those memories. Now, in my particular case, this was a great joy because it was a homecoming for me.
Mm-hmm.
I know sometimes we bring forward traumas that still need to be addressed and dealt with, there's no closure yet.
Oh yes, yeah. And we have plenty of those traveling through lifetime to lifetime. We have plenty of those traumas. We just don't know when it's going to kick in.
Mm-hmm.
Like in Ellis Island, for you in Morocco, it was not a trauma. It was actually something pleasant that you remember. It was a great memory, and it's amazing how you recognized and you were there.
Yeah, I knew immediately. My heart just leapt. It's like I'm home. It was so exciting. I have gone back to Morocco again since then. It's a magnet, right?
It's so interesting. What you're describing right now happened to me when I was writing book 2 about friendship.
Mm-hmm.
I was we were at the friend's house, and they came back from some kind of tour. And what they do when they go on a tour, they combine all the pictures and make an album. So they have albums of every tour, every excursion that they ever made. And we were talking, and then I said, well, she mentioned something about Ireland, and I always wanted to go to Ireland. So she brings me a book about Ireland. So I'm flipping the pages, Ireland, where they were, and then it comes to Scotland.
Mm-hmm.
And the first page that I open is Edinburgh and the castle.
Yes.
I have a flash of goosebumps, going through me. Ireland, I was looking through the pages, nothing. Body was, I did not expect any reaction looking through the pages.
Yeah.
But the Edinburgh, the castle, it was like flash. I was like washed over. And I knew it was something there for me. So when I started writing the chapter about my friend Marilyn, and then everything that came out of that chapter, then I sent it to her. She's in Arizona right now. I sent it to her. She wrote me back 2.5 pages email because she's Scottish. She was there. I had no idea. I met her later on in life, and she's older than me. She She was there in that castle. She was playing there. Her grandmother used to take her there. That was an amazing, amazing confirmation of that this is not just my imagination. It was true.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I went to Scotland last year.
Oh, wonderful! You got to go. How fantastic!
Yes.
So, what was the experience like then when you were actually physically present?
It was like I was turning on and off that switch. But it was a lot of recognition. And there is still one area that I'm not going to even say anything, but there is still one area that I need to explore because I was in one place that really stirred up all my emotions. But I have not gone there yet. So it's to be seen.
Do you find that you seem to have these past life flashes or recognitions more place oriented, or is the stimulus varied? I know sometimes a fragrance will trigger a memory.
No, it really, when right now I would say places maybe, but when I was at school, when I was at USM, University of Santa Monica, could happen anywhere during the meditation, during the class process. I had, it's in my first book, so you read about my experience. I was sitting, we were doing the process. It's called trio. So we were sitting in trio, and it was about 8th chakra. The experience was about 8th chakra.
And just so people know, explain what the 8th chakra is.
Well, we have 7 chakras in our body, in our physical body. The chakras are energetic center that if they're not seen, it's not physically present. It's energy centers in our body.
Okay.
And we have from 1 to 7, and they're all stored in the body. The 8th chakra is considered to be 12 inches above our head.
Okay, so
this is the chakra of higher consciousness, of awareness. That's the 8th chakra. Okay. So when I'm doing this, all of a sudden I feel like a block. I cannot go any further. And the student, the counselor who sits in front of me, she's asking me questions, and the more she asks me questions that are on the handout, the more resistance I become. And I could not do anything. Well, anyway, short story. I realized that I was, the wall that I was feeling was the wall during the earthquake. The wall hit me during the earthquake in ancient Greece on the island. And I basically crushed me. That was the wall.
Right. So you were remembering that death.
I was remembering that death, and I could not move on in my process with the student counselor in class. I know it sounds a little strange for me. People are listening and what is she talking about? What is she talking about? When I was at USM, we had all our experiences went through the trio process. When one student was a counselor, one student was a client, and the third person was a observer, who was not participating in data exchange, but was a very valuable, because then he would give, or she would give, the feedback about what happened in that process between counselor and the client. And I've done those processes since 2000.
Okay. So this is a familiar process for you.
Oh, yes. It was very natural. So for me to have this experience, not being able to overcome, to answer the questions and have like a block, that never happened before.
I see.
And I had to pay attention, and I found out the whole lifetime that there was an earthquake and my body was crushed.
Wow.
And I saw the soul leaving. So that's the whole, that became a chapter when I was able to tune in to that lifetime and channel.
And channel it.
That young woman, yes, who died.
Yeah.
Everybody, almost everybody died in that earthquake on that island.
A traumatic past life experience.
Very traumatic past life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Although I imagine that the life leading up to that tragedy was probably quite extraordinary.
Yes, it was.
Mm-hmm.
It was. In that lifetime, I was a poet.
Oh, not too far off. Very nice. Very nice. Well, what is the current project? What are you writing right now? I know you're always doing something.
Yeah, current project is I decided, I don't know if I decided or I was told that I need to write about it. You know how it goes.
Yes, I do. Right.
I throughout the time since we came to the United States and even before, I always had animals. And right now, currently, I have 4 of them in the house.
Dogs,
and
cats?
Both.
Both.
So, and this project it did not come out of nowhere, because in my first book, I wrote about my dog, who was my horse in a previous life.
Oh.
Yes. So, and we named him Pepper. But we always told him, Pepper, you like a horse. Pepper, you like a horse, because his body was horse-like, and he really had a lot of, visually, he looked like a horse. Little did we know that he was a horse. And came back. I just finished writing, last week I finished writing chapter about him.
Oh, nice.
It was very nice. But so I decided to dedicate this book to my animals and trace were they with me before in other past lives.
Yeah.
And I realized that some were and some were not. But this is book about animals, about my pets.
Nice. How nice. And I think not only do sometimes the souls of animals choose to reincarnate with us, but also I think there are certain people that travel in groups that choose to reincarnate together.
Yes.
Do you find that to be true?
Yes, I absolutely. That's why my second book about friendships is exactly for this, to address this kind of a question. Were we traveling in groups, in pods? And why? So my second book, Turning New Pages, I just want to explore who these people were in my past lives, who we were together. And it was a fascinating project. I have to tell you, it was so interesting to write. Yeah, I just mentioned Marilyn and her experience with me visiting Edinburgh and writing about it. There were Egypt. I had at least 2 lives in ancient Egypt, so it's possible we met there too, you and I.
Right. It's not mutually exclusive that you only had one past experience together. It might be multiples.
No. I had at least 2 that I know of, and maybe more, since we had hundreds and thousands of lives on this planet.
Yeah. And I think that even the archaeological findings are starting to come to grips with the fact that humans have been here much, much longer than the conventional wisdom of not too long ago, really, with the starting of civilization on Earth. I think we are becoming more and more aware of the cyclic process that humanity has gone through. It's not a straight linear progression from caveman with stones to today as the pinnacle. I think we're beginning to be aware of there's been multiple cycles of rise and fall of civilizations, going way back farther. Way back.
We don't really know. Everything is a guessing. Like guessing is, my books are guessings, but they've been very very healing guessings.
And how has exploring these past lives been healing for this life for you?
Another reason why I started digging into past lives was my chronic back pain.
Oh.
I could not find any relief in the medical community. Surgery was not an option.
Okay.
And I looked at alternative chiropractors, massage, physical therapy, and other alternatives, but nothing helped. And I have to tell you this story. I was working at that time, I was working with children in preschool. That was shortly, a few years after I came. And I picked up a child. He was a little heavier than my back could handle. And the next morning I could not get up. And I was in pain, laying in bed, basically crying from pain. And then the thought came in my mind, I wonder if this back pain goes back to my past life. And what I did the regression, self-regression, which I knew because I was in Hypnosis Institute. I already had training to do this.
Yes.
And I did ask myself series of questions to get the answer. And I found out that I was a Mayan girl who was carrying wood on her back from the forest, from the jungle to her home, and constantly being in that position carrying wood.
Oh.
So when I was in Mexico and we went to the excursion to the villages where mine lives, that's exactly what they were told us about, that this is how they care. So, oh my God. So that was even long before I started writing the book. But that was a confirmation of my vision of being a Mayan girl.
Right.
It's very interesting.
The body retained that memory in the back. Yeah.
Yes.
Fascinating.
Yeah. There are other issues, but I think this back pain and the chronic back pain and how it relates to that lifetime carrying the wood on the back.
Have you been able to find a way to get relief in the back?
Yeah, I don't have the same back pain as it was before. Definitely. Sometimes I have symptoms, but the back pain as it was that terrible, that really was debilitating pain, it's not there.
Do you think that recognizing its original source was the healing balm that you needed? Yes.
It's exactly what it was.
Yeah. So by healing the emotion of the memory, the physical symptoms no longer needed to present themselves.
In a way, or at least they diminish. They don't have to be as acute as they were. And this is my experience. I'm not claiming everybody else will have theirs. But in my experience, once you know something on a conscious level, then you don't have to replay this anymore.
Right. So it found its resolution, basically.
And I'm very grateful for this.
Yeah.
And my book talks a lot about gratitude and self-forgiveness because I had to forgive myself, which also helps. This is like a cornerstone of healing. It's the forgiveness and self-forgiveness.
Yes.
Which I learned at the University of Santa Monica. But at that morning when I was laying down crying from pain and crying from all these memories that came to me about Mind Girl, I also did a lot of self-forgiveness because I needed to forgive her. I needed to forgive her judgments for her, for living a life and carrying the wood. I had to forgive myself. So there's a whole forgiveness fest. FF, the forgiveness fest.
I like that. Good takeaway.
It just came up to me. I never thought about it.
That's fun. But so oftentimes the forgiveness is really for ourselves because it releases you.
Mm-hmm.
You no longer hang on to the angst or the negative low vibration of the I wouldn't say self-hate, but the loathing or the bad experience. You can let go of it when you forgive.
Yeah. And everybody talks about forgiveness. It's a very popular talk about forgiving
Right,
somebody
of course.
else, but we never look, or I can't say never, but most of the people don't look at ourselves, because it's us. We can forgive them, but the main thing is forgive ourselves for the judgment we placed on that particular situation or that particular incident, on that event. We are judging, and then this is when the feelings start to grow. So yes, self-forgiveness is the most important part
Absolutely.
in the whole forgiveness fest.
I love it. I love it. So you've touched on the fact that you do self-regression. If somebody is interested and wants to pursue the practical path on how do I do this, what would you advise them to do? Where would they start their search?
Well, before they start search into self-forgiveness, I think they may want to start with just following their intuition. Just listen to themselves. I'm not suggesting after listening to this program go jump into self-forgiveness, but there is a very good suggestion, very good, and I don't know if you heard about this, Ho'oponopono. Have you heard about Ho'oponopono? This is the ancient Hawaiian healing technique.
Yes.
And this is, everybody can do it.
Forgive me, I'm sorry, I love you.
Yes, 4 phrases. I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. 4 phrases. And that is where people can begin starting with self-forgiveness through Ho'oponopono. H-O apostrophe Ho'oponopono. And when you look, you can look on YouTube. YouTube has plenty of meditations. There is a Ho'oponopono for healing the inner child, and so many other variation of Ho'oponopono. So I would say, if somebody wants to look into forgiving ourselves, Ho'oponopono is the very first step.
Place to start. And what if somebody wants to learn to do self-regressions for past lives? Where would you suggest they start?
I would also go to, well, you can look at my book.
There you go.
My book will definitely trigger your memories about your own life. This is how this, for some reason, the book works, triggering their own memory of the reader. And I've heard from people who read the book, they said they remembered something and they want to read it again just to pencil out their own experience. Their own memory were triggered. And I would say that one of the best books that has literally the blueprint on how to do your own self-regression is the book by Sylvia Brown, and the title of the book is Past Lives, Future Healings.
Oh, I like it.
And in that book, after she goes into case studies of different people, at the end of the book, one of the chapters is directly related to how to do it yourself.
How fascinating.
And this is how I learned to do it myself.
Excellent. Excellent. Now, do you take clients? Do people reach out to you for your tarot card past life readings?
Yes, they may. Yes, although right now all my time is devoted to completing the book because I want to finish it. Finish manuscript. But I welcome people to give me a call, or not give me a call, but contact me by email.
Yes.
Visit my website, and we can schedule something in the future.
And of course, I'll do all those links in the program notes.
Sure.
Yeah, excellent, excellent. Wonderful. Well, this has been fascinating. I absolutely love this conversation. How enlightening, how fun. And is there anything that you can tell me that you want to emphasize on what is your creative purpose? You know, my focus is creativity with purpose. And for me, my purpose in life always drives that creative flow. What would you say right now
my purpose is about healing. My purpose is about raising consciousness, my own consciousness, and people who I am in contact with, and people who will read my books or who will watch a future film that I wrote a screenplay based on my first book.
I can't wait.
Yes, it's all in God's hands.
Yes.
Yes. So my purpose is healing, and my purpose is service.
And through that, you find your creative flow with your authorship.
Yes. Yes. And I believe that my books are to be of service. That's the reason. They were of service to me when I was writing them.
Sure.
And they are of service to others.
Yeah,
so
I
service
find so often,
and healing.
Yeah, so often authors start from a place of self-healing when they're writing their books. And then it blossoms into a bigger audience or a bigger picture. It serves more people. Yeah.
Right.
As it develops.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, Alla, thank you so much. This has been a delight.
Thank you.
And we'll have to do it again. We'll have to talk again.
Absolutely. I am so pleased, and we had a wonderful conversation. Thank you, Anne, for inviting me, and we'll see each other again.
Sounds wonderful.
So,
thank you.
Thank you.